So this is part 2 of why do people bully. In part 1, here's a recap. I admitted to doing some bullying when I was younger, and I also was bullied when I was younger as well. And it got to the point where I wondered why I did what I did. Like I say, I was home, I had time to myself. I didn't have any other brothers and sisters to get me in trouble. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I had a lot of time to myself, and I was able to go outside. This is like maybe 6th grade. I'm thinking this is around 6th grade. 6th and 7th grade. 6th grade, I was doing the bullying. 7th grade, I got bullied. It's crazy. But I also remember, doing some bullying a little later on in life too. So it's crazy that, whenever I pose the question, I have to remember that I got 3 fingers pointing back at myself. So I have to reflect on my own life and the issues that was going on with myself, and dealing with the whole topic of bullying. Because maybe I can answer my own question if I just remember what was going on. So when I think about being on a school bus, I can think of some times where I had seen other kids, go through issues. I don't think I was ever afraid to get on the school bus, but I seen some other people that were. I remember there was a time when me and this guy, we ended up being best friends, but there was a time when and this is around 5th grade. This is a time when he wanted to whoop my ass. He wanted to fight. And it was like a moment when I happened to be on punishment. So he was waiting for me to get off punishment. By the time I got off punishment, he was on punishment. So it's crazy. Yeah. My 5th grade, around the 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of bullying. A lot of young guys, sit up here trying to get their position in that apartment complex. You know what I mean? So yeah, there was a lot of bullying. And I didn't run from any fights. I didn't get into any fights. It's kind of like whenever you're sitting there and they're like, fight, and you're like, you swing first. And then they're like, you swing first, you swing first, and everybody else on the side, hit him. Oh, y'all scared. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of that going on. But puberty, I'm thinking it's like one word that comes in the mind, puberty. We were all going through our changes around the same time, around each other. Because, we pretty much stayed in those apartments, like 3 or 4 years all together, growing up around each other. So anyway, it never got to a point where I wanted to pull a gun on anybody. Never got to the point where I wanted to commit suicide. I remember there was one guy that did, and this is in high school. He got bullied. He lived about 2 blocks from me, and his family found him hanging. It's pretty bad for them. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where I remember there was one moment where I could have stepped in. No. Thinking of so many different things. But it's just pretty bad. You know what I mean? To see a family go through it. But I've seen a lot of bullying whenever I was growing up. You know, like I say, between fifth grade to ninth, fifth grade to 10th grade, I've seen a lot of bullying. So all I can really think of is puberty. You know what I'm saying? People trying to figure out who they are and where they're going to go in life and things like that. As far as parents go, during that time, you know what I'm saying, it was like 80s. So a lot of parents, no, it was like 80s going into the 90s. Late 80s, early 90s. So it was like parents then, was into house parties, go to work, come home, smoke some weed, get some drink. On weekends, hit up a house party. You know what I'm saying? Barbecues. So this is like, that was the generation where the grandparents stopped coming around and helping raising the kids. There wasn't many grandparents. Yeah, that's when grandparents started fading off. Around the mid 80s, early 90s. Before then, you had grandparents all in the mix. But around that time, no, not no more. Like they say, take a village to raise a family, into where, a parent would overlook something with their kid. A grandparent would be like, you need to stay on top of that. You know what I mean? And so, when I think about bullying now, the whole family structure is fucked up. Because, like I say, around 80s to 90s, I would say in the 90s, you had kids having kids. Because there was no family structure. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. You go from the crack era to the generation that I'm talking about, 80s to 90s, where, the house party parents, and then you go into mid 90s to late 90s, and boom. Because it was like kids my age was starting to get too flirtatious, starting to get too sexual at an early age. They start having kids around around the early 90s. So just think, if they were just kids, you know what I'm saying, then the mid 90s was really kids having kids. Talking about teenagers having kids. Because the parents was falling off. Parents was like, they didn't have any support raising their kids from their parents. So what other help can they give to their kid? It is sad that if you go through history and you look at the parenting structure inside of a family or inside the families, you'll see that it faded away more and more and more and more. And that's why you have a lot more kids out there in gang violence and selling dope. And like I say, I hope the next generation will start back with family structure. And what I mean by that is like, I hope that they slow the fuck down. Spend 30 years learning your own identification. learning who you are personally, and then take another 5 years to learn your mate. You know what I mean? Let's stop having mistakes. They'll sit back and be like, yeah, I had a kid, but it was a mistake. Fuck that. Fuck that. Let's stop that. You know what I mean? It's like, just really, really stop that. Because the whole thing about bullying is really, kids trying to find themselves, I think. I mean, it's like if you bullying somebody else, you're really testing that person to see if they're gonna buck back at you. And then you're testing yourself to see how long you can, pick on this person without any fear of consequences. That's what I think, at least. That's what I think. And there's a lot of room for me to be wrong, but out of experience, I did shit to really find out how much I can get away with. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wanted what I wanted when I wanted it. And even though I knew the consequence of it, I still did it anyway. So, a lot of things need to change. And the more the family is involved with a child's upbringing, the more I think a child would have the possibility to be more rounded. You know what I'm saying? They'll have cousins that they can try different shit with instead of going out in the public trying different shit out with. When you got cousins, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can beat each other up. Families fight. You know what I'm saying? Families go in the backyard, they wrestle, they play hard. So it's a lot easier, a lot better to deal with growing up within your family than going out in the public and fucking up some stranger's life. Because that's going to be somebody that you're not going to see again, maybe. But when you're dealing with your own family, y'all going to see each other. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to hate each other, y'all going to love each other, y'all going to make up, y'all going to go to a barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Going to see each other at a barbecue again. So it's better just to get all the extra shit out and have fun later on. You know what I mean? That's the way it goes within families. Most families. But there's a whole lot of other reasons why people bully. Because there's a psychological thing that goes on with people that leads them to kill. They know the consequences, but they kill. They know they need help, but they don't ever go seek help. It gets to the point where a person starts to feel numb, void of feelings, but they won't go seek help. And then there's a point where if somebody goes to seek help, but nobody is helping them in the right way, giving them enough help. They're not giving enough help. Then it's like, why am I going to turn to you for help when you're not really helping me? So there's a lot of reasons why people bully. I just don't know it. I wish that we could find the true answers and really come together as a community and stop bullying. Maybe we will one day. I don't know. But look, I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the dumbest person. There's a lot of things I have researched. There's a lot of things I still need to research. The one thing I need to ask you to do is question everything that I'm saying. Do your own research. And please, share your information with other people. You never know when somebody's thinking the same thing that you're thinking, but they just don't have anyone to talk to. All right, I'm out. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Have a good night. Take care. Peace.